I have in my possession a secret map by the planners of the New World Order.
Because the global order is changing again.
A new world order.
Leave wins referendum, David Cameron quits, global markets crash, creating global economic chaos, and order out of chaos is the motto of the Kenites. This isn't the deadly wound, but it is a foreshadowing of it. The events are set in motion that will most likely end in the fifth vial being poured out upon the seat of the beast. But there you have it right there. There has to be a seat of the beast, as it's written in Revelation 13. That beast having 10 horns. Where are the 10 horns? Those 10 fallen angels that are cast out of heaven with Satan have to be here before there can be a deadly wound to the one world political system. You can't get the cart before the horse. You have to have the one world political system first. Look around. Are there wars and rumors of wars? Yeah. So as Christ said, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end is not yet. Notice in Daniel 7, the 4 winds are mentioned in the beginning of the chapter, and then you have those 4 beasts rise up out of the sea, just like you see in Revelation 13. It has 4 parts to it because it's a global one world system, and the 4th beast is exclusively supernatural. You'll notice that beast is destroyed because it's made up of Satan and his angels. Satan's role of Antichrist, the little horn that's part of that 4th beast, as well as the 10 horns, are destroyed, as you know from Revelation 19:20. So that verifies right there that that cannot be made up of human beings, but rather the supernatural, because only Satan is sentenced to death by name, and he's not thrown into the lake of fire until after the 1,000 years are finished. But his role of Antichrist and his one world system, Daniel's 4th beast, is destroyed in the lake of fire in Revelation 19:20. That includes the fallen angels. You see those 7,000 men die in the earthquake at the 7th trumpet. That's what it's talking about. The rest of the beasts' lives were prolonged for a season, as you can read in Daniel 7. That means the others were made up out of flesh men. That's why it says the 4th beast was diverse from the beasts that were before it. So the lion made up of the Christian nations, the bear made up of the communistic non-Christian nations, and the infrastructure is the leopard, that's the Kenites. They'll all be changed into spiritual bodies at the 7th trumpet, but the angels will be destroyed. They make up that 4th beast. Everybody else is changed into spiritual bodies, and they go through the millennium. And then after the 1,000 years are finished, if they want to follow Satan, then they'll go into the lake of fire. So dot your I's and cross your T's, rightly divide the Word of God. You have to line it up with the Word of God. Those 10 horns reign 1 hour with the beast, the hour of temptation. It was 7 years, now it's 5 months. Satan has to be cast out of heaven unto the earth, and Revelation 13:1 should really read, and the dragon stood on the sand of the sea, and then I saw a beast rise up out of the sea. That has to happen first. Otherwise, what do you think the woe of the 5th trumpet is? It's Satan and his angels, the 4th beast of Daniel 7 being cast from heaven unto the earth, at which time the one world political system emerges, and then it's wounded to death. That's the 5th vial. But the events are being set in motion for that 5th vial. As you've heard me say before, we're in 555. So the events are set in motion that will lead up to that deadly wound to the one world political system, which doesn't exist yet. We're still in wars and rumors of wars, but when they cry peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, as you can read in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. So rightly divide the word. Don't get bent out of shape, and learn to discern the difference between a type and the actuality. Now this type plays into the actuality, as do most of the types that we see now. The types of the locust army play into the actuality because that causes that one world peace system to finally come about with terrorism through the types of the locust army. And what we see with the EU referendum and the chain reaction that that's causing, that's a type in as much as we're in May through September, 3 weeks before the the middle of May through September. But again, we don't know that the actual 5 months will happen between May through September. It's just that that's the term of the locust. As you can see in your companion Bible, in the 9th chapter of Revelation, May through September, the term of the locust. So we're looking at a type here, just as we analyzed last year, 3 weeks being written of in Daniel chapter 10, and that's right after Daniel 9:27. And what does Daniel 9:27 say? And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. That was 7 years, now it's 5 months. He being Satan, the dragon, when he's cast out of heaven. That covenant is the covenant of a one world system. But in the midst of the week, now that it's been shortened, that means in the midst of the 5 months, a half hour into it, Satan appears as the false Christ after the actual deadly wound to the one world system, and then it goes from being a one world political system to a one world religious system. Until then, you're going to have chaos. And as I said before, the motto of the Kenites is order out of chaos.
Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos.
Let me warn you,
A new world order.
and let me warn the nation.
A new world order.
Let me warn you,
A new